Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my exclusive op-ed. Get a little comfortable here. Seems like my camera's crooked. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, doesn't matter. Last night, President Biden came on TV and he said he was going to give a reprieve to all federal level marijuana offenders. That means if you had 10 tons of marijuana, you're getting out of jail. What about these kids in county jail? What do we do with them? Do we just let them out? Yes, we do. All they did was got high, okay? There's a argument my father and I used to have, and he never could convince me that this argument was any way, shape, or form any good. He says marijuana is illegal. That it is. It's illegal to possess. It's illegal to smoke. It's just illegal. Now, I'm sorry I'm rocking. Something's crazy here. Alcohol is legal to possess. Once you ingest alcohol, it becomes illegal. And you can ask anybody who's ever had a DWI. You can ask anyone who's ever been drunk in public. Alcohol is illegal. We need to do something about marijuana. I am a marijuana advocate. I'm 63 years old. I've been smoking marijuana since I was 15 years old. Look at me. I'm just fine. No, I'm sure it had problems. I spent some 30 years not smoking marijuana because I had a wife, 2 children, a job, and drug testing was going to take that job away from me, and it just wasn't worth it. So I made the right decision and raised my children. And when my wife died and then my children moved on, then I went back to smoking pot. Well, seems to me that if you smoke marijuana now, you can't get health care. That's right. I have a doctor, not going to say his name. That's why I cover my face, because I want to expose these idiots for what they are. I had a car wreck and I failed a drug test in which I was not asked for. They just did it. Now, they have to ask you for blood work in order to test your alcohol level. But they don't have to ask you for blood work to test your marijuana level. This dirty son of a bitch, and that's what we'll call him because he's a little pipsqueak faggot. I'm sorry. I didn't want to put the faggots down like that. Yeah, homosexuals are a hell of a lot better than him. He calls after I go to see him at the doctor. I broke my leg in the car wreck. The car wreck was due to a heart situation. I have a pacemaker, and it caused me to pass out at the wheel. And as bad as that seems, it wasn't as bad as it seems. He read to me aloud how I failed a drug test, and that was against everything he believed in. And he was no longer going to supply me with my Xanax that we had agreed upon because I failed a drug test. On his way out, his words were, "You need to get off of that crap if you want to be doctored right." Now, we have to do something about marijuana. It's not as bad as you think. It's really not. It's not a gateway drug. Alcohol was my gateway drug. My mom and daddy taught me how to drink. They didn't teach me, I watched them. And then I learned how to smoke marijuana on my own. And through a lot of hard times and good times, I've never done without to make sure that I had marijuana. Everything was always taken care of, and if there was anything left, then we had marijuana. I, to this day, at 63 years old, still enjoy getting high. I have to pay very close attention to my munchies, because I do get the munchies, and when you're my age, you can get over 200 pounds in a hurry. So you got to pay attention to what you eat and how much you eat. Don't drive. I don't drive. I don't smoke pot and drive. There's no marijuana in my car. It's at my house. It's locked away. It's no one can get to it. It's locked away with my firearm. When I want to get high, I smoke a marijuana cigarette. When a man or woman wants to relax a little, they drink a martini or a glass of wine, or they get shit-faced total drunk at the bar, or they drink a whole quart of vodka. So what's the difference? Tell me what the difference is. Because I don't know, and I don't see it to be a gateway drug. I smoked marijuana. I tried a few drugs and I did not like them, and I stayed with the marijuana. So the gateway drug is something that somebody dreamed up somewhere, and if we don't get rid of that narrative, a gateway drug, nothing's ever going to happen. This is, as far as I'm concerned, left to the Native Americans. I think they should own all marijuana dispensaries, all marijuana farms. I think it should all be theirs. It started in the Inca Indians. The Incas, the Spaniards chased the anyway, chased them to America. We can trace them to America. Some of those Inca Indians broke off and went west and became Creek or Creek, however you want to pronounce it. I've heard it both ways, and it's just like crappy or crappie. You know, it don't matter. It's Creek Indians. And I think that they should own the whole situation. And that's just my opinion, and that's why I do these. Any chief, I don't care, anybody in the American Indian nation want to get with me and talk out details about this, we'll do it. I will make sure that you can get a hold of me. And this is your land, okay? It's not my land. It's not the white man's land. You were here long before the white man. It's not the black man's land. You were here many, many years before the black man. You want to talk about I'm not going to use that word. You want to talk about killing off a certain breed of people. Germany was absolutely the worst. But we were no better. Where did Buffalo Bill get his name from? He killed over 1 million buffalo to starve the American Indian out because we couldn't whip them. We're just like we were then like we are now. We couldn't win a fucking war if we were the only motherfuckers fighting that war. So, I don't know what to tell you people. You need to get to work on this marijuana thing. I think the taxing of the marijuana, if you treat it like alcohol by percentage, we now know that marijuana was 7% THC in the 1970s. We now know it's about 25% THC in the 2000s. So we can regulate this THC amount. And if you can regulate it, you can tax it, and you can make tons of money off of it. And that money belongs to the American Indians. And I love America. There's no other place I'd rather be. And that's all I got to say about that. God damn, I sound like Forrest Gump, don't I? That's all right, though. I like Forrest.